Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Precious Metal Summit Conference here in Zurich. Commodity TV here for you. And we want to get an insight into Royal Road Minerals. And Tim Coughlin, the CEO, is here with us. Tim, good to see you.
It's always a pleasure, Jochen. Good to see you.
Oh, the pleasure for me. Long time. I think the last time we saw us in London, like, I don't know, 2 years ago or something like that.
Yeah,
and
it was probably a different me you met back then. It was a long time ago.
That's possible. Yeah, but really interesting company. Maybe you give us a short insight in the company, and then we go in medias res.
Yeah, okay. So short insight. So we were, up until 2 years ago, pretty busy in Colombia. We still are, in fact, the largest title holder, licensed and title holder in Colombia. Because of the change in politics there, we decided to make a move. And so we moved to Saudi Arabia and Morocco. We've been there for the last 2 years. In many ways, it was like starting again. Well, it was starting again. We were literally, if we were still in Colombia now, we'd be drilling resources. So we had to start again, complete new country entry programs, generative type exercises. Saudi is very much a greenfields environment, so super exciting. Whereas Morocco is a deal-making environment. It's more advanced. You're generally dealing with small-scale miners and Moroccan businessmen. And so it's been 2 years of hard work, and we're about to start drilling the next couple of days in Morocco. And we've got 3 more projects we'll be drilling next year. So we feel like we're back on our feet. Okay,
super. Then let's start with Morocco. So what's going on there? You said you want to drill there now. So give us a bit more details, please.
Yeah, so we got permits to drill our Alawana project a few weeks ago now. So we're putting roads in. The rig's on site. It's an RC rig, reverse circulation drill rig. The roads are 3 or 4 days off getting up to the first drill locations. That's the first time it's been drilled. It's a project that was mined by the French way back in the early 1900s. It's a polymetallic system, so copper, silver, gold, sits around the edge of a granite for those who are interested. And it'll be a 2,000 meter scout program. It's the sort of stuff that we've done because we generally like to drill early stage projects, so things that don't have a lot of previous drill holes in them. So it's complete scout drilling. So there are some drill pads located. We're not fixed on those. If something looks interesting in one particular trend, then we'll follow it. Classic sort of old style early stage drilling.
So what metals you are targeting there?
Copper mostly. So it's polymetallic. So it's copper, high-grade silver, gold around about 2 to 3 grams, and then what else? And some zinc. Yeah.
Okay, as you said, you are scouting, so it's really early stage. Correct. So next year is probably the year then. Yeah, to move really forward.
Well, fingers crossed. I mean, if scout drilling successful.
Exactly. Okay, super. Then let's switch to Saudi Arabia, because I'm still not so used with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is for me oil, of course, and gas, but not really exploration, mining. So what metals you are looking for in Saudi Arabia, and how did you come to Saudi Arabia? Because that's not common use, I would say.
No. So copper and gold. So, copper and gold are the metals that we're looking for. How do we get there? Every year in January, and I would encourage the audience to go if they can, the Saudis run what's called the Future Minerals Forum. Well, they've only run it for the last 3 years. I think this is the 4th one coming this January. What Saudi Arabia is trying to do is to move its GDP dependence away from petroleum onto other things, and mining is one of those. So the Saudi Arabian Shield is probably, I would say, in my view, next to some parts of Russia and maybe Iran, one of the most underexplored parts of the world. It is a complicated environment. I mean that from a geological perspective. From an administrative perspective, it is incredibly easy. They really are trying hard to get exploration and foreign investment into the country. What do I mean by that? So there's a thing called the Exploration Enablement Program, where you can actually get some of your exploration costs refunded.
Oh, wow.
To a certain cap, where you provide some receipts. They'll lend you up to 70% of your initial, 75% actually, of your initial capex, up to a cap of $800 million. There are royalty holidays, etc. I didn't answer how did we get there. So we went to the second Future Minerals Forum, and they ran a speed dating event where we got to meet potential Saudi partners. You don't need a Saudi partner; it's not part of the regulation or anything. I mean, my view is you do. In terms of ease of doing business, etc. And so we met at the speed dating event, our Saudi partner, who we've had a lot of fun with working up until now. We run a 50-50, as simple as possible, 50-50 type exploration enterprise, a local company registered in Jeddah. And we'll be drilling, 2 projects at least there next year.
Okay, how many meters? What is the cost per meter there?
I don't know. I know what it is in Morocco, but we haven't gone out for quotes yet in Saudi Arabia. I think we've budgeted 10,000 meters for the whole year next year, reverse circulation drilling. Again, just very early stage scout drilling.
Okay, so from the topographic side, is that then more in the mountains? I mean, it's for sure not in the desert. I think
there's a bit of desert.
Really sense, yeah,
the shield there is stony desert, you would call
stony.
It. And there was snow in Saudi Arabia last week, you might have seen, and that was up in the north, where they're actually building a ski resort called Trojena. It's not the scenery. The kind of cinematographic kind of desert that you see on your Lawrence of Arabia type films is up on the platform where the oil is. The stony desert is the Arabian Shield where the minerals are, where the gold and copper is.
Super. So the intention is then to say by, 2030, maybe a possible mine project there to really produce, get the metals out of the ground if you find them?
Yeah, we want to build a proper business here, and so and not be relying on capital markets to keep financing ourselves for exploration. So we want to get cash flow out of production. We're explorers. Our partners in Saudi are builders. In fact, it's the largest construction company in Saudi Arabia. They're not mine builders, but there's plenty of contract mine builders that we can acquire. But the point is, yes, we want to move quickly towards production. I think in an environment like that, which is so supportive in regards to getting you there, then your end of the deal is to make sure you do.
Okay, super. How does it work to go into production when you have those local partners? Do you still need to do, let's say, the PEA, pre-feasibility, feasibility, or do they have a little bit of a different approach and probably the state might help you again?
That probably depend on the size of, whether you're looking for finance to bring the project in. And so if you're looking for finance, then yeah, definitely. It's the whole JORC system. The mining law, so it's been the last 2 or 3 years and it's still a project in progress, but the mining law has been adapted or modified to meet international standards. So at the moment, they're running a tender process until they roll out a first in, first served. I think it's modelled on the Australian law, but first in, first served exploration application process.
Okay, super. What are the holding costs of such a property per annum, or do you have any? Because, for example, Ecuador is killing the exploration through the holding costs, but how is it in Saudi Arabia? We have an exploration program that we have to meet. The exact, it's obviously something I'm not worried about. Otherwise, I'd know the exact answer to that. But we're exceeding those costs on an annual basis at the moment. So under the tender process, it's a merit-based process. So you're basically submitting who you are, to prove that you have the technical capacity as a team, and then the capital that you've got access to, and then an exploration program. And of course, there's costs around the exploration program, but it's not it's not an upfront, tender payment, bid type process. Okay, perfect. So then the question, what is cash in the bank? Are you financed for next year, and who are your largest shareholders?
So cash in the bank's 9 million Canadian at the moment. We're financed for next year. Who are our largest shareholders? So the largest at the moment is Agnico Eagle. They have about 18%. Then these are the reporting ones. Okay, so Mackenzie Investments, which is Canada's largest private mutual fund, it's about $200 billion fund. They have 6 or 7%. US Global, so Frank Holmes, 6 or 7%. A group called Phoenix Gold Fund, very important to us, around about the same, 7, 8%, something like that.
What's management share?
Management's about 5 to 10, somewhere between there. I can never really
Super.
really tell. The
So
guys
you
are
have
picking up on the board. at the
solid
moment.
shareholder base from the large ones. The 10 largest really control the company.
We're mostly institutional, yeah. I think we're about 60-odd%, 65% institutional last time I checked. Yeah.
Fantastic. Super. Well then, Tim, thank you very much for the insight. Really interesting because Saudi Arabia I had not before, to be honest. Wish you well for that. And I could imagine that Saudi Arabia really needs your metals in the future.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Great to see you again. Thank you.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Tim Coughlin, the CEO of Railroad Minerals, and you heard it. That is Morocco and Saudi Arabia. Exploration, Morocco is early stage, of course. Saudi Arabia, yeah, I would say also early stage, but in a sense more advanced because the government is very, very supportive there. And that helps really a lot when you get the financial support and also the support from the authorities. And they have a great local partner, construction company, that helps in building a mine, plus contractors. So very interesting company. Check it out. Thanks for watching us and bye-bye from Zurich.